All right, let's jump straight into this highly requested explainer. We're going to give you a sleek, structured, or as they say in Turkey, a shakely, summary of the absolute biggest updates in Turkish football right now. Whether you're tracking the national team making history or you're glued to the high-stakes domestic league, Turkey is genuinely producing some of the top stories in the sporting world today. So we've crunched the data, analyzed the match results, and distilled the whole shebang into a fast-paced journey just for you.
So, here's our starting lineup. First, the World Cup return. Second, Montella's tactical masterclass. Third, the Super League title drama. And fourth, the top transfers and performers lighting up the pitch. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The World Cup return and breaking a grueling 2-decade drought. For a nation that literally lives and breathes football, man, this wait has been agonizing. You can just feel the sheer relief in manager Vincenzo Montella's words here, guiding this team to their first World Cup appearance since that legendary 2002 run, where, that classic Turkish squad famously finished third in Japan and South Korea, is a massive deal. Montella was actually showered with liquid by his celebrating players right in the middle of his press conference. It's a huge release of pressure for a team that, let's be honest, has often fallen short of expectations in recent tournaments.
The real takeaway: Turkey kept their cool in a ridiculously charged playoff match over in Pristina. They did a thoroughly professional job, edging past a rapidly rising Kosovo side 1-0. It was a clutch 53rd-minute winner from Kerem Aktürkoğlu that finally punched their ticket, ending that long 24-year absence. Oh, and we definitely have to highlight Kenan Yıldız here. He was the absolute standout, looking every single bit like the burgeoning superstar we all know he's becoming.
Now, looking ahead, it's a pretty daunting North American challenge awaiting them. Turkey landed in a really fascinating group with the USA, Australia, and Paraguay. And hey, for the international fans tuning in from Europe, you might want to start stockpiling coffee right now. We're talking 05 o'clock British summertime kickoffs in Vancouver against Australia and down in the San Francisco Bay Area against Paraguay. It's a massive geographical spread, but the stage is totally set. All right, moving to Section 2, Montella's tactical masterclass and the formula for tournament football. Let's unpack exactly how he pulled this off.
So, if the Kosovo match was a little light on thrills, it's because Turkey utilized a ridiculously disciplined midfield to just completely lock down the game. Instead of risking everything pushing forward, they prioritized a defensive shape that basically starved their opponents to a few long-range shots. And all of this served to protect a rock-solid central defense, brilliantly marshaled by Abdülkerim Bardakçı. It was steady, it was tough, and most importantly, it worked.
This right here is our own tactical insight for today, because Montella's unconventional approach really moved the needle. A traditional setup would rely on a big physical number 9 to anchor the attack, right? But Montella completely scrapped that. Instead, he dropped winger Kerem Aktürkoğlu into this very fluid, nominal role up front. Now sure, people are wondering if that's going to hold up against top-tier global teams next summer, but there is absolutely no denying it was the winning formula they needed to survive a knife-edge cup tie. Okay, shifting gears to Section 3, Super League title drama. The domestic battlefield. Because if you think international qualifiers are tense, just wait till you see what's happening at home. We are talking razor-thin margins between the titans of Turkish football right now. After 32 match days, the reigning champs, Galatasaray, are clinging to the top spot with 74 points. But Fenerbahçe is breathing right down their necks at 70. And you definitely cannot count out Trabzonspor, sitting right there at 66 points. Literally every single match day is a massive title decider at this point. And talk about absolute chaos. Just this past weekend, Samsunspor delivered a jaw-dropping 4-1 demolition to the league leaders Galatasaray. I mean, literally, nobody saw that massive upset coming. Meanwhile, Fenerbahçe didn't even blink. They handled their business with a 3-1 win over Başakşehir. That single weekend of dropped points blew the title race completely wide open. The final stretch of this season is going to be an absolute nail-biter. Finally, Section 4, top transfers and performers, the stars shaping the league. Let's look at the strategic moves and the raw talent-making waves. 75 million euros. Let that number sink in for a second. That is the staggering market value of Galatasaray's star center forward Victor Osimhen. At 75 million euros, he is far and away the most valuable player in the league, bringing just an incredible amount of star power and quality to the top of the table. But beyond the massive, headline-grabbing stars, clubs are executing some really clever key transfers too. We're seeing super smart market plays, like grabbing experienced defensive midfielder Taras Stepanenko on a free transfer, or bringing in exciting wingers like Prince and Pem on loan. It all adds up to a league that boasts some serious financial weight, with the total Super League market value sitting at an incredible 1.37 billion euros.
And the race for the Golden Boot? Just as fierce. When it comes to finishing chances, Paul Onuachu at Trabzonspor is putting on an absolute clinic this season with 22 goals. He's closely followed by Eldor Shomurodov with 20. They are setting a blistering pace, leaving even established world-class legends like Mauro Icardi trailing behind at 14 goals. The sheer attacking firepower on display week in and week out is just a dream for any neutral fan.
So, with an electrifying domestic league pushing players to their absolute limits and a brilliant tactician steering the national team, you really have to ask yourself, just how far can this Turkish squad go next summer in North America? They've got the talent, they've got the discipline, and now they finally have their ticket. I want you to chew on that as we wrap up today's explainer. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep your eyes locked on this space, because Turkish football, it's just getting started.